Alrighty, today we are going to compose some functions. So composition of functions is denoted in either one of these ways. I will primarily use this notation. We read this f of g of x. This means the same thing. I just think it gets a little messier. So I will write it like this, but if you see this notation, know it means the same thing. So to explain composition of functions, we're going to use the output of one function. So we'll use this as an example. We're going to use outputs of g of x as inputs to our other function. So the outputs of g of x will become inputs into f. And it's really important to note that composition of functions is not commutative. So f of g of x is not the same as g of f of x. So here are two functions. We have f of x equals 3x plus 5 and g of x equals x squared. So I'm going to ask you to find f of g of x. Well, I'm going to do a simple substitution. We always start inside and work our way out. So g of x, we look up here, g of x is the same as x squared. So this becomes f of x squared. Notice all I've done is substitute g of x for x squared, since we know they're equivalent. And now, like a normal function, we're going to put this x squared into f for every variable. So we substitute x squared in for x in f of x. So f of g of x becomes 3x squared plus 5. We can try g of f of x. So here I'm going to do a substitution. Instead of f of x, I know that it's equivalent to 3x plus 5 from this statement right here. So g of f of x is the same as g of 3x plus 5. And now I'm going to use this 3x plus 5 and plug it into x in my g function. So my g function is x squared, so this becomes 3x plus 5 squared. Now squared means FOIL, so I'm going to FOIL 3x plus 5. And that simplifies to 9x squared plus 30x plus 25. Okay, here's a couple different functions. So we redefined f of x and g of x. And now I'm going to find f of g of x. Again, a simple substitution. We're going to rewrite g of x as 2 of x since they're equal. And now we have to substitute 2x in for f. So we have 2x squared minus 4 times 2x because we put it in for both of those x's. And now we simplify. 2x squared becomes 4x squared minus 8x. We can also find composition of functions at specific values. So we can find f of 2, I guess g of f of 2, but we always start inside, so we're going to find f of 2 first. So I'm going to plug 2 into my f function, which is 2 squared minus 4 times 2. 4 minus 8 gives me negative 4. Now I'm going to use negative 4 as my f of 2, so it's another substitution. This becomes g of negative 4. Now I plug negative 4 into my g of x function, which is 2 times negative 4, which gives us a solution of negative 8. Using those same two functions, I'd like you guys to simplify or evaluate f of g of 3. And here are two new functions. We have h of x equaling 2x minus 3 and j of x equals 7x. You guys please find j of h of x.